Right, welcome Furnace Productions. You can go around and you can introduce yourselves. You can start off by telling me your technical role or your job role, whatever you see fit first. All we're doing today is we're just having a bit of a recap on what we think, how we think the project's going and how we think we're contributing to it as well. Right, so I'm going to ask you, obviously, to start off with what your role is and how you attempted it, if there's any issues or developments with it, and then obviously how you think your job role is helping move the project forward and the relevance of it as well. Alright, so away you go.
I'll start with this.
Hi Alex.
I'm Alex. My technical role for this task was a songwriter. That included assisting and taking management of certain aspects of songwriting, especially lyrics and just making the general composition of the songs. I've done that for 2 of our 3 songs, and that's helped push us forward more so that we can get started on recording and move on to the final stages quicker. As for my administrative role, I was elected as an editor. My tasks were to produce an album cover, edit any videos that we might want to put on social media, and I've been working with Finn and Emery with social media marketing to think of ideas that we can put on our social media pages and different ways we can grow, different ways that we can promote our content. With regards to like photographs and footage and things like that.
Nice. Just a quick question for you.
Yeah.
When you're editing stuff, how does that help move a project forward? Like what do you think an editor can do?
So an editor can take a look at the trends that are about and implement them into the video, making it more suitable to different types of viewers and to reach the target audience better. And it can also increase things like watch time and make videos more interesting, so they get pushed out more on algorithms and things like that.
Awesome. That's really, really interesting, Matt. Alright, who's next? Who wants
Me?
Oh, fight between yourselves.
Joyce again?
I'll go if you want.
Go on then.
Cool. Hello, I'm Kai. I played the role of being a mixing and recording engineer. I also played the administration role of being a stage planner. While mixing and recording, I helped record some of the instruments for the tracks, and also helped mix a whole track by myself with the piano and the vocals. As well as that, I also helped the project move forwards by making sure the tracks are done by a certain deadline. As well as this, I just played a part and make sure the tracks are mixed, recorded by using the EQs. And for my technical role, and for my job from being an administration, I played the stage planner, as I was going to make sure that all the equipment was placed on the stage properly before we actually got and did that. I made sure that there's enough space for each instrument to be placed on, make sure all the wires are in different parts, make sure the speaker is, make sure the sound is messed up everything. And also made a tech rider which fitted the stage plan to show everything is.
Oh, awesome. So for the second one, obviously you made a really good point about moving the project forward with the one job. For your second one, it's quite self-explanatory, isn't it? In terms of like how you can help a project. You know, by having a stage plan, it means that obviously when you guys get to the venue, it can obviously just be set up more efficiently. And obviously, are you on the day you're going to be in charge of that? Are you going to tell people where to put things and stuff? Awesome. Sweet. Who's next?
Okay. So I'm Paige, and my technical role is quite a few really. I've done recording engineer, I've done some mixing, and I've done a songwriter as well. So I've written one of the songs out of the 3 to fit the brief.
Yeah.
I've written some lyrics as well and made the chord progressions and set the structure of the song before we move forward. I've also contributed to some recording elements. I've took lead role in some of the sessions, but I've also then set back and then just give my input and let other people take charge. I've also played on some of the tracks of the songs. I've helped move the project forward by keeping a good track of the recordings and keeping a good timeline of the recordings and giving good quality materials ready to go into the mixing stages. And for my administrative role, I've been admin. So I've started by creating a plan before we even started the project to show what we're going to be doing each week, and if that changed throughout the whole project, then I updated it weekly. So if we had any problems with equipment one session and we couldn't plan on doing what we was going to do in that session, I updated it and gave that and emailed it out to the rest of the group. I've created as well each week, at the end of the week, I've created weekly group meetings, so it just showed our progress. We talked about our ups of the week and our downs of the week, but also what we're going to be doing next week and our goal. I've given deadlines as well to the group, so I've created Gantt charts to say this is when you need, can you tell me what you're going to be doing in your administrative role, and if it can be done by the next week or by this date. I've also as well been consistent throughout the project by doing this weekly. It hasn't just been at the beginning, it's been weekly. So yeah.
Awesome. Just obviously, because you've said a lot. Have you had any issues? Because your group's the biggest group by far, isn't it? So
Yeah.
communication for this group is key. Have we had any problems with that? And if we have, is it any deadlines moved? Have we had any deadlines moved due to maybe, let's say, I don't know, absences, or let's say, issues with maybe booking a studio, or have we had any problems at all, and how have you dealt with them?
We've had a few places in the studio where the equipment hasn't been working, so we haven't been able to do that plan for that day, or stuff's taken 2 hours to download, so then we've only had like an hour left to record,
Yeah.
or equipment's been broken.
Yeah, because time's the biggest
Yeah.
enemy, isn't it?
So I think 2 weeks ago we sat down and had a review point meeting, a bigger meeting where we sat for longer, and we created a new plan for the next 4 weeks, because we had a few problems and we was off track because of the problems in the studio.
Yeah.
that we couldn't help. So I then just I created a new plan, and then everyone else said if this is okay, and everyone then put their input in saying, well, maybe let's do this on this session instead. So then we created that, so we have a new kind of timeline plan for the last 4 weeks of the project. So we've had an original plan, and we stuck to that for all the way through the recording process, and then obviously that changed in that little hiccup of events.
Good. So it's quite clear that, like, even if there's implications, you've still helped the project move forward, and you've managed to overcome any implications and stuff by your planning. And I think that whole plan, prepare and present kind of route that you've got is really, really working for you. Awesome. Who's next?
I'm Henry. I've been the recording engineer and the songwriter, so I've been working alongside Alex and Finn to help write the songs, like sort of song structures, and then just giving advice about general how the song should be. And then I've recorded my guitar parts on the track for one of the songs, and wrote a solo on one of the songs. And then for a recording engineer, I helped record the drums, so I was set up the mics, and then getting all the drums, and then tracking them. And then I put a bit of input while mixing one of the songs, and then I've helped move the project forward by just completing all my tasks generally.
Okay.
On the deadlines when we need to, following the plan as much as I can possible.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then my administrative role was the social media. So I've created accounts on a few platforms, so TikTok, I've made an account, Instagram, and then I've been recording clips in all the sessions of us recording. So like small, so there's 30-second videos, and posting them, advertising the songs, the event that we're doing, so that people get a good idea of what they're going to see. And then, so yeah, I've been doing that, and then I've been working with Alex and Finn, because Alex has been creating posters, and then Finn has been like saying if they're good enough for him, and then I've been posting them, just trying to build the hype around the events.
It's interesting you say that. We'll elaborate a little bit, because that's really, really, really useful. The fact that you've not only it's the communication is always key, isn't it, with a big project? And like I say, when you've all got individual roles, And it's not that you've just done them yourself, you're sharing the ideas and getting a secondary, obviously primary kind of researched view of it as well. So the fact that you're sharing the ideas and then making a judgment is moving the project forward, isn't it? And it's
Yeah, that's been the biggest part really, just be working with these two to make sure everything's going out on time and then
yeah,
like the right material for everything. And then yeah, we're coming up with we've tried to come up with concepts for merch for the event.
yeah.
Some of our songs, so we're trying to come up with well, we established the brand name, the Christmas Ferns Productions. So we're going to try and just get something to do with that on. And then yeah, so we've just been putting opinions in the final edits, the posters and adverts before posting them to make sure everything's all good on the social media.
Awesome. Alright, sweet. Who's next?
I'm Luke. My technical role is songwriter, recording and a bit of mixing engineering. So I've took charge and lead to write lyrics for one of our songs. And I've helped setting up like recordings, so like setting up mics, putting it away after the session. And like I've been putting some input on mixing as I'm learning how to mix at the same time. It's good to like watch other people, you know, when they mix, so then I learn from it. For my job role, I'm an event organizer. So I have created a risk assessment for an event where what we've been producing for one of the Christmas songs.
Of course.
I've created a spreadsheet for an event such as like public liability for insurance and like all the different costs for the event. And I have also created equipment list for the event, for like numbers of equipment that is needed for the event. And I've also communicated a lot with Paige, which is the admin, to keep up to date with everything basically. And yeah, so like technical roles, so like me and Paige did the vocals for one of the songs and then basically write them. But yeah, that's it really.
Awesome. So obviously you said you work a lot with Paige, and by the sense of things you work a lot with Mackay as well, with the stage diagram. Is there anything that you two have made together that can help for that?
Our calendar, that's something that we have made.
Oh, awesome. Brilliant. Sweet. Is that something that you can all communally look at?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Finn?
Alright, so I'm marketing for my technical roles. I've helped songwrite for most of the songs and I've recorded in the studio and helped engineer as it go along. So I've gave my sort of ideas and input into different pieces of the songs, helped play them. For the recording I did drums with Henry. I was doing vocals for Alex on Out of the Song, and so I've been in and out helping where I can whilst I'm going around doing other things, and I feel like I've pushed it forward by sort of just giving ideas where I can, helping where I can, and then just sort of getting around, helping record everything. And
So making decisions and stuff.
just sort of helping people give their input and they're trying to make it better suited.
Yeah. So, well, it's always quite useful to have that person that has the final yes. Like say, right, that's what it is. Especially when there's a large group of you and you're all obviously co-writing this one song, it can get like, right, when does someone say, right, that's it, that's the chord progression, right, that's the melodic phrase that's going to go over the chords and stuff. So it's great to see that that's how you can contribute towards it.
Yeah, and then my administrative role is marketing, so I've been doing various researches in different sort of areas where I can find what could suit for Christmas, because it's a seasonal event, so I had to do quite a bit of research into different like calendar dates, and I've sort of tried to figure out and help with Alex and Henry on with what social media things could go up and if it would work or not, and then help with editing to sort of ask and say like, oh, this is what's needed for it to sort of pop on that platform.
I think you've been trying to find that image as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've been taking part of like finding that image and to present ourselves on social media.
Yeah.
So we're not just going to post a clip on social media and go, this is us.
No.
They've been trying to hype our image up and finding our image, which is
That's really good. That's really good. And like, obviously, when you do that, and you know, you're going to hold the image up first before doing it. Like, how do you reckon that would that benefit it when you release it then?
Yeah, I reckon it will, because just with the research that I've put in, I sort of understand how the system works and if it will do well or not.
we use different strategies.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. That's moving the project forward, isn't it? Finn's the yes man by the look of it.
Also, like in the parts from the studios as well, when we've had those problems,
Yeah.
he's kind of been like, well, why don't we just do this instead this day?
Yeah.
Before we had that new plan, we kind of had that, we had a week and 2 weeks where everything was going wrong in the studio, like equipment weren't working, or we had bad recordings, or we had to re-record drums, and that's it. It's kind of been that moving forward process, because we was kind of stuck in that process at like that event part where we just had all bad things happen in the studio. So I think it's kind of that he just moved it forward.
Yeah,
You know what
and
I
that
mean?
helps us from getting sort of stuck on focusing on one thing too much. So if for one session we have to do something else because it wasn't going to work.
Yeah. There's loads of implications that you can get when songwriting, because when do you know a song's finished? You know, you can work on a song and still not be happy with it. But it's you know what, it's that decision making. It's setting and linking to the timeline, the Gantt charts, the calendars that you've all made, and making sure that you stick to that deadline. And obviously complete an efficient project, and I think at the moment, by the same things, you're doing really well, and it's going well. Have you had any issues with when it was writing the songs and stuff? Did you have any issues with it? Or was
Sort of, yeah, because there was a time before we had a deadline, we were just
Right,
it's like kept changing our mind every second on what sort of song we wanted to write,
It had
and
to
then
be
who was going to be
perfect.
playing what. So then,
We've gone to split up. I think what went well is that we split up, didn't we?
yeah, because
So we had limited
we
amount
made
of time,
smaller groups to work on one individual song and make sure that's as best as it possibly could be.
and then we all came together then to collectively put our input on each song then.
Yeah.
So it was a kind of different style of writing to what we did last year.
Yeah.
A different way we went into it.
So again, benefiting obviously, like this discussion's about discussing where, recognising, let's say, where we think we've moved the project forward and stuff.
Yeah.
So these group decisions as well as individual ones have all allowed for that to happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, kept it moving, exactly. Yeah, is that Megan? You wanna?
So I had the technical role of a mixing and mastering engineer,
Nice.
and I took complete charge on one track, and then there was another track where I helped Paige with. So I completely mixed that one and mastered it. And then when we were recording, I had some input on mic positioning, and then I had a bit of input with the tracking. And then my administrative role is a publisher, so I was researching different distribution sites, like DistroKid. I used I thought DistroKid was the best one, so that's one I used to upload to streaming services like Spotify.
Awesome. Obviously, you said DistroKid is the one that you choose. Is that the most efficient one in relation to, let's say, the target audience and the project and the stuff as well?
Yeah.
Why? Why is it why is it the best one out there at the moment? Is this something that it can provide that the others can't?
It's very customisable.
Yeah.
Right,
And it's
okay.
the most,
Go on.
it's the most affordable as well. because
Affordable. Nice. Okay. Yeah.
Because with other distributions like CD Baby, like you have to pay per song or album, whereas with DistroKid you can just use a subscription plan per year, and you can
Yeah.
just upload as many songs as you want. during
Okay.
the
Yeah.
day.
Sweet. So with DistroKid and obviously CD Baby and stuff like that as well. You're working on a deadline, aren't you? And it's quite a short deadline. So is there anything else that they provide that's obviously that you've made a choice on?
Well, if there's any problems as well for it before that deadline, we've uploaded it now, so it has a couple of weeks. Then to say if there's a problem with it being too loud or too
Yeah,
quiet,
make it clear on the website.
then
that
it'll give us that kind of.
period that you should like hand it in before if you wanted to get in on time.
Yeah, so it has all the check, it goes through all the checks before it can actually be uploaded. So yeah.
Perfect, great. Any last comments we want to make?
No.
Sweet.